Okay, so this morning, I don't think any of you guys were here this morning. We did a routine called Fang Zhong Gong, and I want to talk about one of the exercises that we did and relate it to what we were talking about yesterday. So let me just demonstrate it. And then you just repeat. First on the left side, then on the right side. What I wanted to pay attention to is the timing of the left and the right body. Yesterday, when we were talking about it, what we were mainly talking about are shoe circles, side to side circles. All right. Um, and talking about the timing between that, they're not on exactly the same thing. All right. How can you say? If you think of your shoulders as the center of a wheel, right? So I can turn, right? I can turn both wheels, one from my right shoulder, one from my, I can turn them at the same time. But that doesn't work for human movement because when my left shoulder comes in first, why would I want to be turning my right shoulder when my left shoulder is the active shoulder is in here, right? This wants to move before this, right? And then when I move back, it's going to be my left shoulder again. The center of the circle is all right. So I've got those two centers, and if I'm going to go from left to right, this circle is going to go before this circle because there's that distance in between them. They don't have the same center. Now, in a certain way, they have the same center because they're both related here. All right? But in fact, this one starts a little before the other one moves. It's actually easier to feel when you do a Lee circle, a front to back circle, than a side to side circle. So doing this little exercise, you can really feel how this one, right, now we're going mainly in a Lee circle. This one, you can feel the timing in your body. 1, 2. 1, 2. Right? This one wants to establish its upper curve and begin to go down before the other one comes up. All right? Let's try the movement. To the right, left, right, left, right, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I'm exaggerating the timing a little bit. Let's just do it more naturally. Notice the footwork. Watch. So circle, circle. Right? That gets your waist involved. And then on the other side, circle. Yeah, Kevin.
This would be a good place for a Tai Chi ball.
For a Tai Chi ball, yes. Yeah, probably is a move like that, just like that. So he's talking about. Oh, don't think I've got one. Even one of the advantages of working with a tight, this is not tight, this is a kid's kickball. Um, one of the advantages of working with a Tai Chi ball is it coordinates the left and right body, but the timing is kind of built in because of the width of the ball. Now, unfortunately, the width of the ball is not as wide as your shoulder, so the timing is not going to be quite the same, but it gives you the idea. The left is moving first, and then the right hand is following. And now the right is moving first, and the left is following. Yes, they are coordinated, but they're not actually moving quite together. You see what I mean?
The ball is rotating.
Hold on a second. Is that you? Hi. Oh. Sorry, it was Lisa at the door. So what were we saying? Kevin, what were you saying? Oh,
I'm
yeah.
saying the ball is rotating.
Often you're kind of spinning the ball, but it's not really so much spinning as it's just it should be doing what your abdomen is doing. Boom, right?
Yeah, but it's easy to hold the ball static, and that's wrong.
Yes, it is wrong. It's not static. It is moving. Right? So when you do this, you can just imagine the ball. Right? And I am imagining a much larger ball. So that should give you, to me, there's more of a feeling for what I was talking about yesterday. The left and the right side coordinate, but they don't move exactly at the same time. So when we go to this move here, right? Sink. If you think of holding the ball, might be something like that. But just, sink, left side, right side. Now, right side, left side. And now, left side, right side. And relax, right side, left side, whole silk, pop. Okay, let's do the first two movements of the form again. We'll do it a couple of times. We'll go around the room and everybody can do it. Kevin, how are you doing? How is your you doing?
Everything seems to be coming together except for that knee.
Your knee's still out of whack, huh?
If I'm walking in a straight line, I'm good to go. But anytime I try to turn,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter, what I do, and it swells up and then shrinks down and swells up, and depending on the day and the weather, it's weird, very weird.
Okay, well, keep working on it. All right, the first two moves of the form. and again. One more. Okay, Susan, let me see you do it. Good. Very good. I like that. I was going to say, but Susan did it really well. When you're working on the second move, when you're working on this part, there's a temptation to think that it's all about Lee circle. It's all about front to back circle. But that's not true. It's partly Lee circle, but it's partly Shu circle. There's a lot of side to side in those circles too. So you have to find the right balance between those to accomplish what you want to do. But watching Susan, I saw a lot of Shu circle, a lot of paying attention to the side to side. Now you watch certain people like Master Feng, and depending on the mood he's in, you may not see much side to side. You'll see more in the earlier videos. You'll see less in the older videos, or rather the newer videos. Why is that? Well, because it's harder to do. It's harder to do to wrap the Shu circle in there. And so it just becomes an exercise in largely in Lee circle, in front to back circle. But in earlier things, you would see him do this. And not just him, but any practitioner. Well, there's a lot of side to side of shoe circle in there, right? It's relatively hard to do because you really have to stretch your pelvis open and your knees open and you put some strain on your body. So pick the place you want to be, but just be aware that it's in there, that it's a possibility. Anyway, I liked what Susan was doing. Um, it was slow. She was not coming to a stop, but she was really slowing down at places and letting things settle down, so to speak, before she decided to move on and how she decided to move on. And that's really what practice should be. I mentioned Itzhak Perlman, one of my favorite concert violinists yesterday, who said when you're practicing, most of your practice should be just a bar or two of the music. Now, not for 5 hours straight, but you practice a bar or two. You practice that for 15 or 20 minutes, and then maybe you go on to something else. You take. How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
Right? So you don't pick off too much. Just two moves like this is a lot. Now, I think it's good to do 2 or 3 moves because it gives you a chance to get into the movement, do the movement, and then kind of finish out of the movement. So maybe you're working on move number 8, but you start with move 7 and you end with move 9, just so that you have some context for this. But there's so much going on. When I was watching Susan, because she was slowing down, because she was really watching her coordination of left and right, up and down, front and back, I could see the wheels move in her head. All right? Well, that's what you want to see. That's exactly what practice should be. She's not skipping over anything. I'm not saying she's got everything and it's all finished. I'm just saying that she's engaged with everything. So you're slowing down and engaging with all these decisions that you have to make. And it's too little, or really I'm talking about one move, this is the second move, right? But the number of decisions that you are making is like click, 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 even when you're slowed down. That's why you have to slow it down. So good job, Susan. I like that a lot. Ram, let me see you do it. Good. So I get the same feeling watching Ryan this morning. It's slower than usual. I can watch him I can watch him watching the form and making a series of decisions. And the decisions that he makes today may be different than what he decides to do tomorrow. The, that's not the issue. The issue is, are you engaged every moment like that? Because that's what you have to be to make this grow. One thing, Ram, um, let me demonstrate, and I want you to watch my left claw. The second movement, like I said, is kind of a challenge because you're doing front to back circles, but you're also doing side to side circles. So it's like 60% Li and 40% Shu. What happens is most people just sacrifice the Shu-ness of things, the side to sideness of it, and just work on the front to back. So there's nothing wrong with that, but it misses an element, and I'm going to focus on this quad, on this hip joint. So I'm first going to do it without engaging any side to side energy. All right? It's all front to back. Well, I did a little side to side there. I didn't mean to. But what I'm saying, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. Watch Master Feng. We'll watch him next week. Often that's all he does. It's fine. So what are you doing? Well, somebody's punching at you, right? Somebody's coming in and they're doing a flying Superman punch. You actually go under the punch, reach up and grab the wrist, and then come behind at the elbow, or more likely in this case the shoulder, and move him out of the way. He's already coming this direction, so it's very easy to just redirect him. Then you're blocking the knee, someone's kicking at your knee, and now you walk through and either with an uppercut or a chin-up, and then you go through, right, that business. Let me watch it a second time, and I'm going to put more energy into this quad on this side, so it doesn't just stay empty. You're flexing down into that. It's not just this. When you do like this, most of the flexing is happening back here. A little bit here, but most of it here. And what happens is this stays kind of empty, so you don't really use it. If I'm going to block this knee, somebody's kicking at it, I need to sink in this hip. I can't stand back here and try to do it. I have to sink down in order to engage the daimai. Watch. If I'm going to use the daimai, I have to flex this hip joint. If I'm going to flex that hip joint, now suddenly it's a Shu circle. A little Shu. And then it turns into something else. Right? Yeah, Kevin.
Isn't there some ping involved in this?
Yeah, I mean, you can. The truth is, There's always all three in every circle you do. It's just a matter of how much. What's the formula? So if I'm doing quote unquote a pure all right, I'm going to do a pure shoe circle, side to side. But watch the daimai. Oh, there's a little ping in there. Huh? You could even say there's a little li in there. Because the truth is you don't come out to the side, you come out to about 45 degrees. That means there's a degree of li circle in there. So maybe the li circle is 10%. And the daimai is 20%. Right? Or the ping is 20%. Right? And that leaves the shoe with 70%. But it's flavored by those other energies. You've got to have those. Okay, let's do it. The second move. Sink into your right quad. Now come through and sink into your left quad. Look at my knee. It's not here. It's here. So that I can open this part of my pelvis and turn a little bit to the left with my daimai. My hip can only turn so far, about here. But my daimai can turn a little farther, say 4 to 6 inches farther, and it's that turn that gives it power. Right? And then right and left, and sink again. You're sinking this ball in here, and now you're going to turn the ball again. Now there's a lot of shu energy, or you could say also ping energy in there. Questions? Let's go on. When I do the next move, personally, it's going to look like this. Watch. So I don't even join my hands together at the beginning. Most people don't. Left and then right. Now right and then left. Now they join together. But technically, that's eliding. That's like an elided part of a sentence. You're just assuming that the reader is going to fill it in with their mind. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you should know what it is you're filling in. Right? So the first thing is somebody's running at you. You just step toward them. And in fact, you kind of step between their oncoming legs. Who knows what the timing of that is. But your timing that you're trying to time, right, is this. Punch. Probably not both hands together. Could be. Punch. No, it's just one. Punch. Punch. Now, right, now you join the hands together. Because in your attempt to punch him in the gut or the crotch, he's outsmarted you. He's trained and he's fast enough that he's grabbed your wrists. Oh, he grabs you. What can you do when somebody has grabbed you? They've got you here, they've got you here, they're controlling you. A really simple way to deal with it is to join your hands together. Why is this so effective? It's because it gives you your center line again. Right? You join your hands together. It's like pulling everything into that center line, especially your feet. Right? Oh, now my power base is all focused on the center. And he's not in his center. Because he's out here trying to control your wrists. So he's not really in his center. You are totally in your center. So, right, you reach out, you know, put them together, and the first thing you do whenever you contact somebody, it may happen so fast that you will never see it. You may not ever even feel it if someone's doing it to you, is you disrupt their sense of balance. Disrupt their balance. How do you disrupt somebody's balance? The easiest way to do it is to use your own weight. Use gravity. So he's got hold of you, you join your hands together, and then you just drop. You don't have to drop a foot. You need to drop maybe 3 inches. What is he going to do? He's going to go like this. Because, of course, he's not going to let go of you. He's going to get pulled down. That's going to disrupt his. So how fast does it happen? And you're already onto something else. You don't do it and then wait. You assume it's going to work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter because you're not going to get a second chance. So you just do it and you go on to the next thing. All right? So here comes the guy. You step out, join your hands together, drill down, and now you're going to go around your dantian, using your dantian. You're not going to do this. You're going to do this. And around, and now you're going to push. When you push out, something has to go backward. So you push out and your shoulder blades are going to go out backward. So you step out, right, to hit him, join your hands together, drill down and go under the dantian, turn and go over the dantian, and push. Now, he's a stubborn bugger, and he still doesn't want to let go of you, which seems kind of incredible. But if he's taller than you are, he probably can get away with it, right? So he's still got hold of you. Now, you got to get rid of this guy. So what you're going to do is just snap back. You're going to use your own weight. Your weight is on the right. You're going to snap back to the left, right? And notice what my hands are doing. Push, snap back. 99.9% of the time, that will get rid of the guy. If he's still somehow hanging on, his hands are probably totally messed up by now. All right? Now you're going to give him an elbow. But we just assume that you've gotten rid of the guy and he's flying over there. Now you come and you rock. This is called rocking the baby. Right? You just rock underneath your. Now, why are they calling? They want you to shift your weight. Rock. And then back. It's not 100%. It's just back to load this leg, and you're just to the right of your own center line. Okay. So that's one part. That's just the first part of this movement. That's a lot of stuff. you don't have to express each. You can if you want, but you don't have to express each of those. You watch most people, and they'll do this. They'll do what I'm talking about. But they know each of those steps that I'm talking about. And so mentally, they're sort of still doing them. All right? Now, watch the weight shift on this move. There are no applications in this form that are not, they don't use a weight shift. Right? Your weight is your number one asset. So you use your weight and 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 your weight, your weight, your weight, and your weight. So I would say on the third move here, it's about generating the power out of your legs. Even though many of these movements are, the weight shifts are very small. This one's bigger. Watch. It's actually the same move. This and this are the same thing. One's just toward the soft side and the other's toward the hard side. But practicing this is a good idea. Because watch this. Questions? Let's do just this move, right? Let's do it 3 times together. Hold on a second. You guys taking off?
I'm gonna go get the car.
Okay.
I was looking for our new car insurance cards. No, they sent us some, but
Do you want mine?
I didn't get it in my,
Do you want mine?
you have it?
Yeah. Guys, practice. I'll be right back.
I wonder why I don't have it.
Okay, sorry. All right, watch this arm, right? Now, one, and you notice I'm not moving. Once it's out here, I don't move the position of my shoulder. All I'm doing is rotating the shoulder. You're rotating the shoulder, the elbow, and then the wrist. But the arm's not flying around anymore. Elbow, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Down into this quad. Watch what this hand does. At first, it's reinforcing this arm. But where it is your Laogong is at your breast. And then when you get in position, all right, you've done the elbow strike. Now, this hand is going to drop to the Dan Chen. Every time we used to do that, Master Zhang would go, nipple, nipple to navel, nipple to navel. To him, they sounded like the same word. It's just like wringing out a dish rag. Susan, let me see you do it. Good, excellent. Ryan, let me see you do it. Good, very good. When you're practicing this, think about the pads of your fingers having eyes. There's an eye on each finger. All right, watch the end of my fingers. they're not just meat. Right? They're actually sensory organs. Right? Grandmaster Fung used to say, every pore on your body is an ear. You're listening. You're listening through every pore in the body, front, back, up, down, sideways. All right, you're listening. Listen. If you look at the white fish, the white fish is the yang fish. So if I'm being yang, right, I'm being, you know, the energy's going out. But there's a red dot inside the white fish. There's yin inside of yang. So yes, I'm being, I'm being, bah. But in all that activity, there has to be quietness. And why are you quiet inside all that activity? So you can listen. You have to keep listening, even when you're being the most aggressive you can possibly be. All right? When you're opening someone's arms, and giving them a knee, all right? That's pretty aggressive. But you have to be listening at the same time because you don't know what that other guy's going to do. All right? Listen. 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 Everything is still listening. And the red fish in there with the white dot means that even inside the listening is action. All right? So they work together. Okay, so Annie went to get her rental car because her two sisters are flying in tomorrow morning. She's going to pick them up and they're going to go to the coast for 3 days and have a sister fest. All right? So she's real excited. Okay, so practice, right? Practice the first 3 moves 10,000 times every day, and we will see you all again next Saturday, right? Have yourselves a good day, guys. Ciao.